theoretical part of LO extraction, right? Very, very important, as I said. Okay, we discussed about the steps in the last class, right? Now today we'll start with the practical part of LO extraction. Right, so this is what we discussed, right? Different various steps to configure for your LO extraction, okay? So now, what is the first step now? You have to install your business content data sources. So in case of LO extraction, data sources ready-madely given. What you have to do? You have to install them. So now what is the T code now? RSA5, right? So now go with T code called as RSA5. So first step you have to do it in R3 system. So right now I have opened two sessions. One session we are in QAS is my R3 system. In another session we are in BOI is my BI system. We are in two sessions now. One window we are working with R3. The other window we are working with BI. So now, what is it now? So what is the T code? Go with RSA5. So what is that? Installation of data sources from business content. So RSA5, installation of data sources from business content. That is the ready-made one. Okay, now I am working with what? R3 related. Then which data sources you want? Whether you want material management, plant maintenance, production planning, right? Project systems, logistics. So now I want, let us say, for sales and distribution. Expand that sales and distribution. Now, once I expand, it is showing all the ready-made data sources under SD. So what is that now? We can observe the name 2LIS underscore 11 underscore VA HDR. Sales document header data. That is what is sales order header. Then what is it you can see? Sales document. That is sales order item. Then sales order schedule line. And what is that other thing you can see? 2LIS underscore 12 underscore VC is, that is what your delivery. See that for delivery it's a different application then. 12. Then again for billing, 2LIS underscore 13 underscore VD. Billing document item is also same thing, 2LIS underscore 13 underscore VD. ITM. Right? So like that, depending upon the requirement, what data sources you want, you have to choose particular data sources. Now, what I just under there I have shown you one ready-made cube called sales overview cube. Suppose I want to load my data into, that means you have to extract what data there? Sales order header and item, delivery header and item, billing header and item. Totally I have to use 6 data sources to load the data into one particular cube. From normalized we are converting into denormalized, right? So now, based upon the requirement, suppose this is my data source, place the cursor on that. What is that now? 2LIS underscore 11 underscore. So then I am going to select this particular data source. So observe now, this data source has been the installation of data sources from business content. Same way, what are the other things you want? Select them, header and item. Same way I want for. Now how many applications you are using here? 3 applications, 11, 12 and 13. That means I said setup table is application specific table. For entire 11 there will be one setup table. For entire 12 there will be one setup table. For 13, okay, like that. So select them. What are the data sources you want? Place the cursor on that. Then again, billing document header. Then billing document item. Okay, like this. Select what are the required data sources you want. Okay. So now, once you go with RSCFI, what I have to do? Select the data sources by clicking on what? Select subtree. Then after this, what you have to do? Okay, after selecting them, you have to activate the data sources. So then you have to click on activate the data sources. Clear now? So what is to be done here? So select them, click on activate data sources, continue. So this is, now once we install, a copy will be created from delivered version into active version. So once I install, if you go and look at into your LBWT code, you have to see these data sources there, LO cockpit. Clear now? Step 1 is clear. Now, what is the step 2? I said you have to log on to an application called LO cockpit. So what is the T code for that? LBWT. Right? So now, what you can do, so in R3 side only, go with the T code called LBWE. So there, now can you see 11, 12 and 13 applications? Can you see? This is for sales, that is orders, shipping is deliveries, 13 is billing. So now what you have to do? First, make the data source as what? Inactive, no? So what you have to do? Just you have to click on active. It will become what? So once I click on active, it will become inactive. So now, so for 11, what is there here? Right? So click on that. What is happening? Your data source is becoming like that. What are the data sources you want? So for item also I have to make it as inactive. For delivery header, delivery item. So like that. What are the process I am doing? You have to repeat it like that. So you have to make it for 12 as well as based upon the extraction that you are doing. For all those things you have to repeat that particular step. So just click on inactive. Then B is maintenance, right? Maintain the extract structure. So for that what you have to do? So just click on maintenance and you have to select the fields for your for your extract structure. So click on maintenance. So once I click maintenance, what you can see, the left side is the fields of your extract structure. How many ready-made fields he has given? Can you see that they are in blue color? So I cannot do any changes for this. See? Observe. Can I remove them? I cannot. Right. Now right side is the fields of your table. So table has a number of fields, but extra structure is given only. Standard is 26 fields. Now what you can do? So what are the fields you want now from your table? You can add it to your. You can add it to your extract. So now I'm just selecting some particular fields. So randomly I'm selecting. I'll select one key figure also. Let's suppose controlling area, cost center, and net value was the key figure, right? Net value. So select them and move it to the left side. Now what happened? Your extra structure became 31 fields. Clear now what is maintenance is clear? And suppose, can you see the color difference? Try to remove them. The ready-made one I cannot remove, but what about the one which I have added? I can remove them, right? So that is what is maintenance. So he has given already some standard. So what you have to do? What are the fields you want? Add it to the particular. Continue. And do you want to really confirm this? Yes. Like that. Yes. Table. Yes. Change order header, na? That is fields of your VBA table. Yes. Just observe now. No. It depends upon the requirement. See, what is the table name? It's showing the fields of your VBA table. Right? I am just selecting specific fields here. But based on the requirement, you have to select which fields you want. User-defined fields also selection is same. Okay, for user-defined fields, like if you added some more fields to this, the selection will be same. Only the thing is you have to write enhancement for populating with the data. Only the thing is you have to write that's what I am saying, enhancement. Last class also I have said you. Enhancement is through coding. If you want, I will show you the process, but I cannot show you any code. Yes, exactly. So if you are adding some fields to this particular table, right? For that you have to, okay? So now, select that particular fields. Okay, move it to the right side. Confirm them. Yes. Okay, now once I maintain it, what happens? You can observe this has been become. Because I have disturbed my extract structure, you have not yet informed to my data source. Then, what is that next is? Once you maintain, so next you have to specify your update mode. So now what type of update mode you want? So for that you just have to click on that update mode option. So here what is there you can observe? Update mode for 11, default taken as direct delta, but I don't want direct delta, let us say we want it to be Q delta. So now what I am doing, so in the update mode I am converting from direct delta to, what is it? Q delta. So that your LUWs will be updated into extractor Q. From there you have to run a background job, LUWs will go into update Q, right? Okay, right. So that is update mode. Then what is it now? Next is you have to generate the data source. Yes, tell me. Which change icon? This is generation. Next. Huh? LBW. That is for generating the data source. Now what I am doing in the step only. So now what is that next? Generate the data source. So for that what you have to do? Click on the data source name is there, no? Here. What is that? This is for what? This change icon is to generate your data source. So click on that. Now what is that? Once you generate it, what is happening? Extract structure is ready. Now see the fields what it has. What are the fields ready-made plus what are the things that you have added. But observe one very important point. I have moved some 5 fields, right? For that 5 fields, by default, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By default, what has been selected? Hide has been selected. By default, what has been selected? That. Now, if I select that, what happens? Will it come to BSR? Even though you add it to your extract structure, that will not be coming to. So now, what you have to do? You have to uncheck it. Very important. And you can see there is something called field only known in customer exit. Just now I was saying, no, you have to write some exit, some code, right, to populate the data for the field which has added to your ready-made table. For standard fields, you need not use any code. Now, suppose table has 100 fields. If you are selecting some fields out of this 100 to your extract structure, directly data will be populated. Now suppose we have added some 2 more extra fields to my table, 101 and 102. If I added 101 and 102 field numbers to my extract structure, for that what you have to do? You have to select field only known in customer exit. If I select this, so for this you can write some ABAP code to populate the data. But these are all standard fields only. Remove them. So now observe here, number of orders was a key figure. By default what has been selected? Inversion has been selected. Because the other things are standard, no? Given by extract structure was ready made, right? Now I have added some more 5 fields. Now system is thinking that these 5 fields may be again custom defined fields, right? Like that. And if you can see number of orders, what has been selected? Inversion has been selected. That means here in LY extraction the reference is in the form of what now? Images. Can you understand that part? And you can observe, I am unchecking these things. Then look at net value is also a key figure. Now is inversion is enabled for this? No, because it is hidden. So uncheck them. But still can you see is it enabled? No. What you have to do? You have to refresh once. Scroll up and scroll down. Can you see it is enabled now? That is very important. What you do? You uncheck it and you think it is not enabled. If you just go up, what happens? Entire values gets mismatched. What is the use of this inversion now? the value of before image will be multiplied by -1 while data is transferring from R3 to BSI. So now that's why what I am doing, you have to select this particular inversion checkbox, select them, then after this you have to save your data source. So once you save it, what happened now, see your data source converted from green to red to yellow. Earlier it was not generated, now it has been generated. Now what you have to do next? You have to make your data source. Now only the thing is for which fields you have moved to your extract structure, for that you have to uncheck hide and field only. After unchecking hide and field only, just scroll up and scroll down, wherever inversion is there, just select that. Okay? We will deselect all, but the fields which you have added to the table, that is, your table itself is some custom defined fields if you have, then for that you have to select this. Okay? So these 5 fields are the standard fields of your table. They are not custom defined fields of the table. Hide and field only. Now field only known in customer exit means if you select it, you have to write some ABAP code to populate the data. But for that I don't want, right? Yes. Only the fields which I have added. See? So now save it. That's it. Select that. You have to repeat your process for the rest data sources what you want. Like that. Once you do this, just assume that your data source is ready. Once I do this, what is that now? My data source is ready. Okay? So then what you have to do? Okay, so last is make the data source as, tell me. Yes, for all the 3 figures you have to select inversion. Sorry? No, for these fields which I have added, so I need not, they are the fields of your table itself. I need not write a ABAP code, that's what I am saying, right? If the table has some custom defined fields, then you have to see the table name, see the structure name. This is a field of your table itself. So for those fields, I need not write any ABAP code. Even though you meet 5 fields, I need not write any ABAP code because they are the fields of your table itself, standard table itself. So I am selecting now. Suppose my table has 100. Let me finish it off. Let me finish it off. Suppose my table has 100 fields. Now these 5 fields I have selected is out of this 100 fields only. Suppose now I am adding field number 101 and 102 to the table. How do you add a field? By adding a structure, by appending a structure. Now when you see the field name, you will not see the table name here, you will be seeing the name of the structure. If you see the name of the structure there, then you have to write the customer exit. Now tell me, Viren, now. Hide. What is there? Why it is not enabled, show? Where it is not enabled, show? Which you don't, so these are all standard fields. I don't want them, you have to hide them. Then you write a transformation in your BA side. So from source to PSA is always raw data, right? I cannot do any changes or something. Okay? Clear? Yeah, fine. Save it now. So now my data source is ready. So now data source is ready. Next what I have to do now? I have to populate my data into my into my setup tables. That is, I have to perform something called as data migration steps. Now before that, this is also an R3 side only. Just go and check, is there any data in your setup tables? SE11. What is the setup table name I have given? Extract structure name. Followed by what? Setup. So just look at this. Now if you look at your setup tables, does it have any fields? It's not like field as I know under the also. It's just like maintains like a some binary data elements. Okay. So now look at the contents. How many entries are there? Right now it is. Right now setup tables is empty. Okay. Right. So now I need to populate the data into my setup tables. For that, what I said as a safety measure, first thing you have to clean the contents of your, as a safety measure, delete the contents of your. So for this you have to go with what? T code called what? LBWG. So now in R3 side only, QoS system is R3. So there, go with a transaction called LBWG. Which application you want to clean? 2ls underscore 11. So what you have to do here? 11. Execute. Then it's telling data will be lost. Do you want to confirm? Delete it? Yes. So now like this I will do it for 11. Same way you have to do it for 12 and 13. Based upon the data sources you are using. Like that. Okay. So now first is clean the setup tables. So next what I said, you have to log your related T code so that you will not miss any business or something. So that is, logging is not your task, actually that will be done by the basis consultant. So the T code, what they use is to log the T codes. The T code is used is called SM, but you will not log it anyhow. So but just observe how to log. I will show you SM01. So which T code you want to log? I want to log create sales order or change the sales order. So place the cursor on that and click on lock. Then again same way VA02, place the cursor on that, click on lock. Okay, VA01 and so now try to open now VA01. What happens? Can't catch me. So now no one can create a sales order or no one can. So that means there is no updation to your live tables. So even though there is no updation to the live tables also, now not a problem, right? So now, so what is that? See why? Because why should I lock? I understood that part now in the day. So now this delta Q is formed at what time I said on the day? At 9 o'clock, right? So now I am starting the process at 8:30, but delta Q is formed at, that means you are missing the data from 8:30 to 9. To avoid that, we are locking the particular transaction. So once I lock, what you have to do? Now I need to run my, but here someone would have been practicing, so I am just releasing the locks. Right, so now what is that? Next, run the statistical setup. So for this, what is the T code you have to use? Yes, BIW. So to run the statistical setup, go with a T code called yes BIW now. Sorry. Right, so now what we are working? We are working with what? Settings for application specific, right? So they are application specific, I said, no? So go with this part now. Settings for application specific data sources. Under this we are working with what? Logistics, right? So select what? Logistics. Okay, you have to follow this particular part now. The settings for application specific data sources. Then you have to go with the logistics. Then what we are doing? We are managing our extract structures. So copy it. Managing the extract structures. Then we are working with initialization. We are initializing our data source now. That is, we are filling our setup tables. So initialization. Then what? Filling the. What we are doing now? We are filling the setup tables. Filling the setup tables. Then what? Which setup table you have to fill? 11 or 12 or 13 or. So application specific setup of statistical data. So which application you want now? For orders, right? So what is it? SD sales orders perform. If I do this, which is going to fill? The application 11 is filling with the data. Then you have, what is that now? Deliveries. If you use this, this is 12. Application 12 is filling with the data. Then for that is 13. Okay, now use. Right now I want to do it for orders. So you have to execute now. SD sales. Okay, SD sales orders. So either you can come with this path or directly you can use a T code called OLI 7 BW. Right? OLI is common, BW is common, the value will 7 will change. So OLI 7 BW is for orders, OLI 8 BW is for deliveries, OLI 9 BW is for billing. So now statistical setup from old documents, that is for what? For the orders. So now, so as I said, now you can observe the T code there. OLI 7 BW. So directly you can come with, no need to go with any path or something. If you go with SBAW, you have to follow entire path. That is IMG activity. Or you can come with easy access, that is it's one and the same. It's doing for what? Order. Suppose if I use OLI 8 BW means for what? Deliveries, like that. So based on the requirements, select which one you want. Right? So now, whether you want, right? So now you want entire data to bring your setup tables or only some particular data. So now suppose I want order numbers from 1 to, that means only the orders from 1 to 1000 from the database tables will be pushed into your setup tables. You can give some conditions, okay? Or based upon your company code also you can give. Okay, like that. So this is now for what? So for restriction. That is, you while pushing the data into your setup tables, you want to push only. Right. So now, I want entire data now. So what I am doing, I am not giving any conditions. So what is that? First you can see, it's asking you to give some name of the run. So give any name that you want. So under name of the run, so that's for a background job what I am putting now. So give Z run. Then after this you have to give some date and time in the future. Okay, that is called termination date and time. So for that you have to specify some date or time in the. Now give some name here. Any name give it, and the date and time you have to give it in the. Until that particular time the job will run. After that it will terminate. After this, what is that? You have to click on what? But remember, if you click on execute, what happens? Your data will be moved to setup tables, but it will be moving in the front end because this is executing from your. Now that's nothing but what is the data coming here to your setup tables? Right now I'm doing this to bring the data from here to here. So what happens there? That becomes V2. That means front end your application will be kept idle. So but that's a real time we never execute it in the front end. Remember always what you do? You have to go with program, then that is very important. Okay, program execute in background. So what you have to do? In the menu bar select program, then execute in background. So once I click execute in background, so it's asking me to give some what? Output device name. So this output device name will be given to you by a basis consultant. So generally it will be the name of the. Now suppose these documents are there, sales orders are there, I need to take a printout. Suppose if I give a printer name, this order will be coming as a printout in that particular printer name what you have given. So right now I need to print it to my setup tables, right? So for demo systems, this output name is LP01, but real time it will not be LP01, it will be given to you by a administrator. So don't use LP01 in the interviews, okay? So here an output device, give some type 1 LP01, that is a demo system, then continue. Then when you want to start your statistical setup, suppose I want to start today at 10 o'clock. So for that you have to go with date and time. So when you want to start now, give the date but right now I want it to be immediate. So I'm just clicking on immediate and click on save. So now a background job has been. See now advantage of background job front end is your application is idle. No, right? I can start working whatever I want to do in the front end, but in the background data is getting updated into your setup tables. Now, what is the job name? RMC VNE something is there, right? So if you want, you can copy the job name. How do you copy it? Double click on this. So this was your job name. So just copy it. Okay, RMC something, right? Now I want to see the status of this background job, whether it is correctly running or not. To see the status of, so what is the T code now? SM37. So now, so in R3 side itself, go with what T code now? SM37, right? So what is the job name you got? Something like RMC something I got, right? RMC. Okay, execute it. What is the job status now? It is active. So that means you have to wait until this job comes as finished. See, until that time the transactions got locked. Right? So that is the problem, right? So that's why. Now if you want, you can observe earlier how many entries was there in this table? 0, right? Now how many are there? 3081. So just look at now next. Updation is happening or not? See, it's all happening in the background. Is your application is idle? I can start working whatever I want. That is what is the use of your V3 background. See, 3,900. So now like that, you have to wait until you get it as finished. So now right now I did it for 11. Same way you have to do it for 12 and 13. That is OLI 8 BW and OLI 9 BW. Like that. That means you are pushing entire order tables data into the setup tables, 11 application, delivery data into 12, billing data into 13. So right now what we are doing is this particular part. We are at this particular part now. So I am pushing the data from database tables to that particular setup table. Okay. Then after this now, so you are done with all the things that has to be done in your R3 side. Once it comes as finished, just assume that your R3 side task is finished. So then you have to go to your BI side. So 1,800. So how many records are there? So but real time you have some millions of records is there. Okay, now look at this now. Job is, what is it? Finished means your statistical setup has been done. So data has come to your setup tables. Now I have done with all the things that has to be done in my R3 side. Okay. The setup tables has been filled up with data. So then what you can do? From step 4, what you have to do? You have to replicate this data source to BI side. So same thing. How do you replicate now? Already I have shown you for generic same part now. Okay, in the right frame. Select the interface between what? R3. So now, so I am coming to my BI system now. Then what you can do? Choose your interface between BI and R3. This is my interface. Okay, I am already in that interface now. So now what you can do? So you are working with what? STREC. So now you can expand this particular SAP. Same thing what you did in generic, same part. Okay, SAP application components, expand it. Then what is that now? We are working with sales and distribution. So you can right click on this and replicate. But if you can observe, if it is already available, you will not replicate all the data sources, only the required data sources you can replicate it. What is that now? 2ls underscore. It's already there. So no need to replicate all the data sources now. Only the select particular things you want. Right click on this context menu. What is there here? Replicate metadata. Okay, my data source is replicating now. So replication completed. successfully. So then what you can do? Okay, you can select that particular data source if it is available, or select that SD application component, replicate meta data. Okay, now, so once it is done, next what you have to do, you have to activate your transfer structure of BI. So how do you activate it? Pretty simple. So just click on change. To change it. Now can you see this is the descriptions and look at the fields. Can you see what is the first field? Cancel indicator. What is the length? That image NX. Can you observe now this data source has a field called cancel indicator, means it is maintaining now before image. Before image is nothing but you're cancelling, right? I understand, but my generic data source was not having this particular field. Clear now? So how can you understand? This is another way where you can observe like your data source has, that means it maintains now before image. And so now what you can do, just click on activate. So now once I activate, you can observe structure will be generated in your source system, it will say. That is transfer structure of source system will be generated your so now once I replicate, you need to activate this particular data source. So it's asking to give the user ID and password. So just give the user ID. So now structure will be activated in the source system. Could not be activated. Sometimes if you get like this, do one thing, again activate it, it will activate. Right. So data source has been activated. So now my data source is ready. What you can do next? So I can load directly into my cube. So what you have to do? You have to install your BI content target. So now how do you install? Same process. Yeah, modeling tab, BI content. Okay, grouping. Just select your grouping. Then the selection mode. So then what you want to install now? I want to install some info cube. So I said sales overview cube was like 0sg underscore C03, right? Suppose if you are bringing 6 data sources from R3, all these 6 data sources you have to connect it into this particular cube. This part is all another same what you have seen for generic text, same thing. Only the thing is R3 side what you read is the different part. Okay, so if you can observe now, it is already available in active version. So when someone has already installed, so no need to install. Directly I can start creating one. I'll create one info cube, a copy of that. Okay, suppose create one info cube. Copy from what? Okay, so give some name now. Suppose I am giving a so just copy this particular name. So I'm just creating a copy cube of that ready-made standard cube. So what are the objects you want to add or remove? Customize it. So how can you customize? Same thing, left side you can see the template info object. What are the objects you want to can add it? See now look at what dimensions it has, something called as organization, right? Sales organization. So you can observe what is the objects you have in this. Company code, plant, sales organization, sales office, shipping point, sales representative. So sales document number is your nothing but your document category. Then you have customer, bill to party, ship to party, sold to party, and payer. So material you have material dimension. What is it? One info object called as material. Then you have something like value type, and these are all the info objects that are there in this particular ready-made standard info cube. And you have some basic key figures like subtotal, net value, wage. It's entire, na? Delivery plus orders plus billing. Then finally, after customizing, activate your ready-made cube. So now cube is also ready. So just what you have to do, you have to create your transformations. Tell me. Add it. So left side is there, na? Characters, template. So just select and add it to your cube. So just like normal how, sorry. Yes, the standard practice is we copy the cube and we will start using it. Because if I customize the standard cube itself, tomorrow you want same kind of cube again, you need to start from installing, right? To avoid that, generally what we do, we just create a copy of that. So now cube is ready. What you can do? You can start creating a transformation. Source is now data source, right? Target is cube, source is data source. And what is that interface name? T90. This is the one between BI and R3. And what is the data source name? Payment proposal it's saying. So what you have to do, you have to map on your phone. So now, what is that now? Created on and calendar day, Then what is it? Sales employee is there. Here any sales employee is there. So basically, as I said, you will be given some mapping document, that is which field of R3 to which info object of BS. Sales office is there. Here also sales office. Then sales group, from sales group to sales group. Then sales organization to sales organization. Then what is the distribution channel? What is there here? Distribution channel. What happened? Just take into some other thing. Sorry. So from distribution channel to here it is the distribution channel, right? Okay. So like that. So still what are the things you can match? What is there here? Sold to party. Then what is it? Shipped to party, sold to party, right? So from sold to party to sold to party. Then what is the key figure is? Net value, right? So what is there here now? Net value. So from net value to net value. Okay, like that. So map, what are the things that you can map? Then finally apply any transformations you want. So all those things we discussed now, the time, same options. Then finally activate it. No. That is what is that? That is flat file extraction. What happens? Flat file extraction. What happens? Properties of target itself I copy to my data source. Their properties both are copying along with the field name also it was, but here field names are different, info object names are different. You have to map it. Okay. So now my entire thing is ready. What you can do? You have to start creating one info package. So now this is my data source. Select it. Right click. Create a info package. So real time, remember you always create two info packages. One is for initial, other one is for delta. Initial, so we don't disturb that particular. So I'll just create one more copy of this info package. That I'll put as the delta update radio button. So when you want delta info package, use that particular one. When you want initial info package, use. Okay. So if you want to know, you can. Right. So now extraction. Everything is already filled. Processing. Then update. Now what is that I have to select here? Initialize delta. So here you can observe two options, initialization with data transfer and other one is without data transfer, right? So real time how you follow, first I use without data transfer, then after that I use full update. Why is that? Because now see this example itself. So 8:30 we are starting the process, 8:45 data has come to setup tables, 9 o'clock data has come to your PSA. That means your delta queue is formed at what time? Now suppose if you are using your info package, here what I am selecting, initial update with data transfer. When I select with data transfer, what happens? The entire data comes from setup tables to your PSA, then the reference is maintained. That means once entire data is coming successfully, then only delta queue is, that means delta queue is found when? At what time? Suppose if I use initialization without data transfer, without, that means data is not coming from setup tables to PSA. Only the reference is maintained. Now data is not coming. How much time it takes? Maintaining a pointer will take only a small span of time. Let us say some 5 minutes it is taking. Imagine. That means your delta queue is formed at what time? 8:50 itself. Delta queue is formed at what time? That means, can I release the logs at 8:50 itself? I'll release the logs at 8:50 itself so that the LUWs keep on updating into my delta queue. Meanwhile, I need to fetch the data from setup tables to PSA. For that, what I use? Full update. So you can reduce your log time by following the process what? First using without data transfer, then running a full update. Here the process is clear. So now same thing I am using also, like first without data transfer. So then go to schedule tab and I am clicking on. So before clicking on start, just go and check in R3 side, is there any delta queue is there or not. What I am showing in R3, whether delta queue is available. So now what is the T code for delta queue? I said RS-A7 11_VAHDR. No, right? So now for that what has to be done now? See, once I schedule start, now just come and observe here. Okay. So now go to your scheduler, then click on what? Start. So now I said without data transfer means it's not fetching any data. If you say with data transfer means it has to fetch that 7,800 records which are there in your setup tables, entire data has to come. Okay, so I clicked on start. So just go to monitor now. What is that? One come. Now, if you look at your info package, what is that? An extra button called as? So meanwhile, you need to fetch. So now delta queue is formed. Meanwhile, I can release the logs in my R3 side. After that, I can run a full update. So now, so just go and look on in R3 side. So one delta queue is formed. This is nothing but what I am showing you here. See the name of the delta queue. The name of the delta queue is nothing but name of your data source system. And how many entries are there? Now if you look at your delta queue, look at the contents, any entries will be there? No, right? So 0 entry should be showing here. Now if you can look at delta Q has two partitions. One is called delta part, another one is called delta repetition, right? So now, your delta Q is designed such a way that it has two partitions. Delta Q has what? Two delta and repeat delta. So why is this two partitions? Because now observe very carefully what is the use of partitions in your delta Q. Now what I am starting 8:30. Initialization is done. 8:45 data has come to your setup tables. Then 9 o'clock data has to come to my BS side. Then after 9 o'clock I am releasing my logs. Some new business happens. Let us say between 9 to 10, 5 transactions are happening. So now, how many records are stored here now? Totally 5 records, right? Now when I do my 10 o'clock, I am triggering, let us say, my delta update. How many records are coming to PSA? 5 records. What I am saying, 5 records are moving from delta Q to BSA. That's what I said. Here I have written 5. Now if data is coming to the BSA successfully, then no issue. But suppose some error happened, data is not coming to my BSA. So what happens? Is there any delta in the delta Q? There is no data in the delta Q. Data has moved from delta Q to your BSA. So that means you are going to lose the data. That's why what has been done, your delta Q is designed such a way that it has two partitions. So what is it now? One is repeat delta and the other one is what? The delta. Now between 9 to 10 I said 5 transactions has happened. Now what are the data that is coming to your delta Q? First it will update in your delta part as well as repeat delta part. The 5 records which are coming will be stored in both the partitions, delta part as well as. Now at 10 o'clock if you look at your delta Q, how many records it has? It has 5 records in delta part as well as 5 records in repeat delta. So then when I trigger my info package by using what? Delta update. So what happens? These 5 records from your delta part will be coming to your PSA. If data is successfully coming fine, imagine if data is failed. What happened? Your delta part has become empty. There is no data in the delta part. But still there is data in. So then I'll run an option called repeat delta. You have to run an option called. So how do you run in repeat delta? Is very simple. Repeat delta is nothing but again triggering delta update only. But status was, you have shown your QM status. Na? There I'll go and convert it into red. If I convert my status to red, that's nothing but I'm saying system that the load has failed. That's nothing but fetching a repeat delta. So now if your load fails, what happens? I'll run an option called. So from there it will fetch now from your repeat delta to your PSA. Suppose if this load is successful, fine. Imagine this load is also failed. Now whether it is success or fail, it will not clean your repeat delta. Whether that load is successful or failed, it will not clean your. Now you can run your repeat delta option until your load is successful. So now if failing means you are rectifying it, and at then what I am doing, I am ensuring that my load has become successful. So any doubts with this particular part as of now? Anyone? So see now, data is coming and updating in the delta part and repeat delta part. When you trigger your info package with delta update, data will be coming from delta part of your delta Q to your BI side. If load is successful, well and good, fine. If load is failed, then I'll run an option called repeat delta. So what we are running now, I'm running an option called repeat delta. Then data will be coming from delta, repeat delta part of delta Q to BI side. If load is successful, fine. If it fails also, it will not clean. Whether it is success or failed, the repeat delta will not be clean. Still you have data in your repeat delta part. Done. Now this is, let us say, first delta load. 10 o'clock I am doing my first delta. Now 11 o'clock, that is between 10 to 11, suppose some 10 transactions are happened. Now where it stores now? Both in between 10 to 11, what happens? Data updates into both into delta part as well as repeat delta part. So now at 11 o'clock, how many records are there in delta part? 10. But in the repeat delta, 2 requests are there. Request 1, 5 records. Request 2, 10 records. Then when I am triggering my info package at 11 o'clock, so where this data is coming from? From the delta part to my, how many records it is fetching now? The 10 records. Suppose if your 11 o'clock load is successful, 11 o'clock delta load is, what is done? Whether it is successful or not, it cleans delta part. And if 11 o'clock load is successful, it will clean the backup of your request 1. That means your repeat delta is designed such a way that it always has one step backup available in that. Understand now? So when the second delta load is successful, the backup of first delta will be cleaned from repeat delta. When the third delta load is successful, the backup of second will be cleaned in the delta, repeat delta part. Understand now? So your repeat delta is designed such a way that it always has one step backup available. Understand the logic? So any doubts in this part? What is delta and what is repeat delta? Yes? Huh? Sorry? Speak again. Okay. Still it will be there. No. Repeat delta will not be cleaned. When it will be cleaned? When the next delta load is successful, the backup of previous load is cleaned. Yes. Yeah. Is there anyone any doubt? Clear? No. So now initialization is done. So if you can look at in your R3 side. So what is that now? 1 delta Q is formed. It has delta part as well as repeat delta. So now first time load is done. Any doubts with the first time initialization? Now what is that you did now? Right now you have fetched the data from the tables. First to my setup tables, from there to my PSA, trigger a BTP, data will go into info cube. So what I am showing you now, the next one, cube delta, right? So now let us say after the first time, some data is getting updated into your live tables. First where data comes? Into your extractor cube. Then I need to run a background job. Data will go to your. So now I am going to show you this particular part. How LUW looks like. Okay? That means for that you have to create or change a. Tell me. No, data is not coming here. That's why I said no. Some problem is there with the connection. So when I'm triggering my info package, data is not coming. There is some problem with RFCs and right. Setup tables I've shown you, no? In R3 side. Yes, yes. So you can see that particular part of that. If you go with no, that's what I'm saying you, right? So here there is some issues there, data is not coming. So just you know the process, now. When you practice in your system, practice this particular part, you can see the data. So there is some issue with the RFC connections and logical system connection. Okay? Right. So, but I am showing you now other part in R3 set. So what is that now? I will try to create or change a sales order. We will try to create or so actually creation or changing of sales order is not your task. That is what is business. But for you to understand how a record comes to extractor queue, how the pointer will be maintained in the extractor queue, then how to run the background job and how data comes to the delta queue part, that I am showing you. Okay, let us say I am trying to change one. So before that, so just look at in R3 side, is there any pointer or token in your extractor queue? So which key code I am using? LBWQ. Is there something here? There is no extractor queue or no entries in your extractor queue. Outbound queue is empty now. Now, I am going to change one sales order. So VA02 is to change your. So which order we were considering was order number 6000. No. I have removed that. That is to bring the data from what is that? Setup tables. No, 7800 records has come to setup tables or not? I have removed that condition. I have shown you, but I have removed it. If I have used that, then setup tables will not get 7800 records, right? So now, what is the order value here? Before changing the values, 52,500, right? Suppose, imagine I am changing the order quantity from 900 units to 1000 units, okay? Now when it's calculating now, what happened? It has become. So before changing the value is 52,500. After changing the value is what? 55,000. So now what you have to do? Click on. Okay. So just a minute. I'll just change the data. $6,000. So I'm changing this from 900 to 1000. So it has become what? 55,500. Then click on save. So once I click here, what is happening? Your application is idle now. So first it is putting into the live tables. From there, a pointer is pushed into extractor queue until that sales order has been saved. Now go and look at your extractor queue now. So I am looking at what now? This particular part. I am showing you in the extractor queue the token what I said. Look at this, refresh it. What is that now? Earlier it was empty, now how many entries are there? One entry is there. Look at that. Is it a record? Just observe. Look at the contents. What it is maintaining? What date? What time? So now look at your what? Delta Q. In delta Q will there be any entry now? So I need to push this pointer from delta extractor Q to delta Q. For that you have to run a background job. Right now you can observe there is. So now what you have to do? So a pointer has come here. Then I need to run a V3 job to move the pointer from extractor Q to delta Q. Right? I need to run a V3 job to move the data from extractor Q to delta Q. So for that, so I am showing you how to run a V3 job. This is for the second time load what I am showing you, okay? So same thing, you have to use a T code what? LBWE. So now why I am running this V3 job? To push the data to what? To your delta Q from what? From my from the to push the delta Q from the tables, right? According to pointer which is there in the extractor. So for this you have to run a T code, is LBWE, again same thing. So in R3 side go with a T code called LBWE. So now I am doing it for 11, right? For 11 what is it? You can see there is something called as job control. Click on this. When you want to start your job, start date, I want it to be immediate, or you want periodic also, you can specify it as a periodic job now. Every 1 hour you want to trigger or something, periodic values. Then suppose if I say hourly means every 1 hour this background job will be scheduled. Then specify the start date first. I said immediate. Then click on print parameters. So again it's asking for the background now, output device name. Then you have to click on schedule job. So once you can see the new job has been scheduled. So then look at this overview of this job now. What is that? Job has been finished. That means what happened? A record has been pushed into your delta Q, right? So now look at your delta Q now. Earlier it has entries for 0. Now how many entries it has? 1 entry. And go and look at your extractor Q. Will there be any pointer there? LBWQ. Okay, so there is no pointer, right? So now where is the data has come to here? Look at the data now, whether you want delta part or, so select delta part. What happens? Can you observe now? Actually it's a one record, but it has taken as what? X is before image, blank is after image. This is before changing what is the value, this is after changing what is the value. And if you can see, what is that before changing? It is 52,000. Is it minus 52,000? No, right? Before image is not multiplied by minus 1 here. For that I have that inversion checkbox. When data is going now, it will be multiplied by. Then after changing, what is the value is? Now already data in the cube, suppose first time if you are loaded, already 52,000 is there. This 52,000 minus 52,000 gets cancelled. What is the value it will become in the cube? 55,000. So that is in the delta part. Same way you can look at in your, what is it? So same records are there in delta as well as repeat delta or not? Observe. So both it is updating in the delta part as well as repeat delta part. So now what you can do in your BI side now? You have to trigger what? A info package with delta update. So now okay, this was your already for info package which you have created. So I am going to create one copy of that. So what is there here? Copy. Okay, from this info package I am saying this is my delta info package. So you always use this particular delta info package. Okay, next step onwards. So now this is my delta info package. So what you will to select here? In the update tab, I will be selecting my delta update. Then go to schedule, then click on start. But actually data will not come here. I said some problem is there. Okay, now so this is how you can configure it for your LO. Now I use delta update. So where is data is coming from? From the delta part of your delta queue. Yes. So that means 6 data sources means you have to trigger 6 info packages. Yes. Every data source is having its own info package, right? No, until the data source level it is coming, right? PSL level it is all different. But when it goes to the target level, it will become one thing. Okay? See now, I have shown you for one data source. Now, like the same way replicate 6 data sources, create 6 info packages, then data will be coming to your 6 PSAs. Then these 6 data sources is connected to one particular cube. When data is going from PSA to the cube, data from 6 sources will go into one single cube. Yes, 6 DTPs again. Okay? Right. So monitor, but actually data is not coming, just observe. No, different. Each data source, that's why its delta Q name is what? Can you observe the delta Q name? It's name of your data source or not? So every data source is having its own delta Q. Yeah. Fine then? Yeah, okay.